What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to another video. We have recently hit 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is just an absolutely insane milestone that I'm really happy we've been able to hit. I asked you guys recently on my community tab in a poll what you wanted to see for my 10,000 subscriber special, where you had to choose between an Among Us video with other YouTubers and channel members, a 10-hour live stream where I play my gold champions, and sort of a commemorative video going over the memorable moments from the past 4 years that helped to bring this channel to where it is today. And to my surprise, a lot of you actually chose that fourth option, and you want to see all the memorable moments that helped to bring us where we are right now. So I encourage you all to get sat back in a comfy chair with a nice warm drink in your hand, a snack at the ready right by the fire, as we're about to dive deep into the history of this channel and all the memorable moments that have helped to bring us to where we are today. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Our journey begins on February 3rd, 2015, when I first made this YouTube account under the name AndrewChicken888. At the time, I was just 13 years old and heavily addicted to Minecraft. AndrewChicken888 is actually the username I used for my Minecraft account, which I'd created well before this date. I looked up to YouTubers like Stampy Longhead and Sundy, who were extremely popular Minecraft YouTubers at the time with different series that captivated my younger self, and I originally started my channel with hopes of becoming as great a YouTuber as both of those legends. However, it wasn't until much later that I uploaded my first video to YouTube, because my parents weren't exactly too keen on their son putting out videos at just 13 years old. But of course, being the rebel that I am, I couldn't help myself, and I uploaded my first video over a year later on June 29th, 2016, and shared it with the Minecraft community I was a part of at the time, Sapphire Dimensions.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a nice, easy, and compact redstone minecart storage system. You can hide it under your floor, looks completely flush, and no one will ever know where your stuff is. It's really nice, really awesome. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get straight on with it.
Yeah, not exactly the greatest video in the world. Looking back, this is extremely cringeworthy, but considering what I had to work with at the time, it's alright. I recorded this on an old Windows 7 laptop that could barely run Minecraft above 30 frames per second, let alone record a video, so recording this was pretty rough. I had never narrated anything before, and so I was just flying by the seat of my pants, trying to emulate the other YouTubers I looked up to. I used a whole bunch of free, easy-to-use softwares to help make the video as best as I possibly could back then, which you can clearly see by the massive Screencast-O-Matic logo in the bottom left of the screen. I also had my own intro, which I'm still quite proud of to this day. For how little I knew back then, the process of making that intro was quite innovative. You see, back in the day I was also heavily into using Scratch, a program by MIT for helping young kids and teens get into programming games, tools, and whatnot. I used this program to make an intro, and then recorded it using Screencast. The project is actually still up, and is published by my second Scratch account, Sonish and Nova. It still works, somewhat. You can also see that I was still using the same font as I am now for my channel branding, but instead of everything being red, I used blue at the time. I later switched to red branding instead because I thought it just looked a bit better in the YouTube environment. After this video, I published a playthrough video of my own Minecraft map, The Gladiator. This was a decent feat of Minecraft engineering, and it also served as the trailer for the Planet Minecraft page where you could download the map. Of course, this map doesn't really hold up very well and it doesn't even work in later versions of Minecraft, but again, it was good for what I had to work with. Most of my other YouTube videos at this time are part of one of three series. An epic builds series, where I showed off builds that I thought were great at the time, but compared to the likes of Grian and Jarocraft, are absolute garbage. One of many Let's Play series I tried to start but never extended very long, or a redstone tutorial. All were recorded and edited in roughly the same way as the first one, with extreme lag and excruciating pain for my poor old craptop. I also tried to make a website for my channel way back in the day with my novice programming skills in HTML and JavaScript, which was a bit silly.
Boom. Look at that, it's beautiful. Look, it's got my beautiful face on there. You can see my video right here with the download right here. And I update it regularly. So if you see a video on YouTube, you don't have access to YouTube for whatever reason, you can pop over here, go to Videos tab, go to Redstone Tutorials if you want to find my most recent one, pop over here, and boom, there it is. and then there's the hidden minecart storage system. I try to update this as regularly as possible. In fact, I might add like a most recent video button down here to find my most recent video.
As you can imagine, it didn't really get any traffic, and then I later rebranded it and haven't touched it since. It is still up though, although there's barely anything on it besides some old videos. On October 11th, I uploaded my first video in a series where I tried to play Sid Meier's Civilization 3. Now, I'm not really sure what compelled me to play this old game instead of Civ 5, which would have attracted way more attention, but that doesn't really matter because I did the series anyways. Of course, this didn't really work out that well, with one of the videos in the series only having 6 views to this day. I also made a video about a horror map I tried to make that was marginally better than my Gladiator map, and I made a video advertising my own JavaScript game, Press the Arrow. This one is actually still online, and it's actually quite fun. Maybe go give it a play? I'll leave a link in the description for any of you who want to check that out.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be playing something completely different from what I've been playing on my channel. This is a game called Paladins, and it's a pretty fun game. I got it like last week, so from what I've played, it's pretty fun. And
on January 14th, 2017, just a week after I installed Paladins for the first time, I uploaded my first Paladins video. At the time, this game was still in early beta, and it was actually way more popular on Steam than it currently is today. As you can see, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing in this video. I didn't know the names of most of the champions, and I had never played a first-person shooter in my life until now. So, I was a bit out of my depth with this video. We've come a long way since then. My mic quality also improved during this time, and I was using a new headset with a far superior mic to the one built into my laptop. I continued uploading Paladins content side by side with Minecraft content for a while, and I even tried playing Smite for one video, though that video never went anywhere. Some of my videos from around this time are actually starting to get some decent views, such as this one that has over 5,000 views. My titles were also really weird, and I tried way too hard to make them super clickbaity, as you can see with titles like, I brought a knife to a gunfight, or Donald Trump in Paladins, which were videos made when Maeve and Inara were both introduced to the game. My Paladins videos were getting way more views than the rest of my Minecraft content at this time, so I continued making Paladins content for a while, and also started branching into other games, including a Path of Exile series with exactly 1 video, 3 Payday 2 videos, and even a few TerraTech videos. My channel was much more diverse back in the day, but the only thing that consistently brought in relatively high views at the time was surprisingly Paladins. Also during this time, I uploaded my first ever top 5 list, which as most of you know is a format I've done a lot since then. It was also the first scripted video I've ever done, which I've had to do dozens of times since then for all my guides and top 5 lists. Another thing to note is that this was the first video of mine to use the new intro that I've used up until mid-2020, although I was terrible at audio balancing at the time, so the music that played was excruciatingly loud. Top 5 favorite Paladins champions was a list that literally just counted down my favorite champions at the time. Nothing more, nothing less. Just out of curiosity, let's see who those were at the time.
guys, this is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to some more Paladins, and boy is it good to be back. My last video was about 2 months ago. I haven't really been uploading lately since there's been finals, as well as people coming down, my family to visit me, and as well as some other things like Memorial Day, so I haven't really had time to upload recently, but yeah, I'm back. Floating her way into number 5, we have Ying. Ying is one of the best support champions in the game right now, and has a very unique healing style. At the number 4 spot, we have Xiaolin, who may come as a surprise on this list, because he is not too popular in the meta right now. However, I find him extremely fun to play. Leaping into the number 3 spot, we have Buff. There's not much not to like about Buff. He can leap extremely high and far into the air and land on his enemies with a surprise attack. Number 2, Torvald. Torvald is probably not the one you would expect to see on this list. He is essentially a giant target with cool maneuverability and a short-range laser. Blasting his way into first place on my list is His Majesty, Bomb King.
Wow, I completely forgot that I ever liked Ying. Weird. Other than that though, times haven't really changed and this list is still surprisingly accurate. After all, I have gold skins for every champion on that list now except for Ying. Then, on July 20th, 2017, everything changed. On this day, I uploaded the most popular video on my channel for the next 2 years. The legendary How to Farm Gold in Paladins.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to another video, and in this one, I'm going to show you guys how to farm gold in Paladins, using bot matches that now give you gold for completing them in the most recent patch, OB54. If you're low on gold and want to get gold fast in order to buy maybe a new cosmetic, which costs even more now than before, which sucks, or to buy Lian, the new champion, which also costs more, seriously high res, then this technique will definitely help out. But with that being said, let's get straight into how to farm gold in Paladins.
For the first few weeks, this was getting slightly higher attention than usual. Most of my videos around this time brought in roughly 50 views, and this one brought in 4 times that in just a month. However, it wasn't until late that August when the video began to really grow. Every week until May of 2018, this video brought in hundreds of views, bringing unprecedented attention to my channel, and with that attention came numerous subscribers and fresh viewers who stuck around for the rest of my content. This growth continued to soar past May, and the video got thousands of views per week until it climaxed in early August 2018, when it brought in 3,000 views in 1 week. This video was my first video to ever blow up, and it helped my channel out immensely. After this video, I continued to upload gameplay for Paladins, and I made a few more top 5 lists, such as Top 5 Worst Paladins Champions list, which, funnily enough, has some angry comments and a lot of dislikes from people who watched this video way after it was published, and the meta completely changed. Remember, if a video you're watching sounds weird or inaccurate, make sure you look at the date it was published. Times might have been completely different when the video was made. I got a new microphone headset around this time too, so my audio quality improved again, and I also started using a new video editor which I'm still using to this day, and which I slowly learned to use to make better and better edits over the next 2 years. After my gold farming video was made, I slowly started to phase out my other non-Paladins content. Minecraft disappeared completely, as well as all the other games I was playing with the exception of TerraTech, since a lot of my guide videos for that game raked in thousands of views. I also made a Sonic Mania playthrough series when that game came out, which doesn't even have 100 views across all 4 videos. It was at that moment that I decided I was only going to upload Paladins and TerraTech content from then on out, and eventually, TerraTech went away too since I was no longer having fun with that game. I made some really strange top 5 lists around this time. Have you ever wanted to know who does the least amount of damage with one shot in a game? Check out my top 5 least damaging shots video. Want to know who has the lowest DPS? Check out my worst DPS list video. Want to know who's best at challenging Makoa? You get the idea. I hadn't quite nailed down what topics I should be covering with these lists, and a lot of them didn't get particularly many views. It was also around this time that I got a level 20 Bomb King on Paladins, which was just 5 levels away from being the maximum level you could achieve at the time. Shortly after that, I made my first champion guide, How to Play Bomb King in Paladins.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to show you guys some of the tips and tricks I use when playing His Majesty Bomb King. These are some of the neat techniques I picked up on my way to level 20 that you could use to become better at Bomb King, one of the most difficult champions in the realm. These techniques don't go in any particular order, but are just general suggestions, combos, and tactics that I use when playing Bomb King that I find helpful. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
This video did well, and set a precedent for guides to come in the future when I mastered other champions like Fernando or Moji when she first came out. Also, right at the beginning of 2018, I finally got a desktop, which was far superior to the crap top I was using, but also far inferior to what I'm using now. Still, this enabled me to record much higher quality gameplay, which made my videos more attractive. On February 4th, 2018, I released another extremely popular video for me at the time, my first Top 5 Most Difficult Champions in Paladins list. This video actually got quite a bit of backlash too, since for some strange reason I put Androxus at the number 1 spot and called his kit somewhat weak, and only put Eevee in at number 5. Eventually, I realized how big of an idiot I was for doing that thanks to all the wonderful, hateful comments and dislikes on that video, so I put the word outdated on the title in all caps and turned off comments to try and just kill the video. That actually worked, and it's barely gained any views ever since I did that. Looking back though, I probably should have just made the video private. My channel continued to grow and Paladins continued to update, and I was among the first people to cover the Siege of Ascension Peak, Paladins' first event featuring Ascension Peak, the new map that had meteors falling from the sky and a cool cutscene when you first entered the match at the time. The event also had the best main menu music this game has ever had, and they still haven't released it as a music pack, which makes me very sad. Then, on April 22nd, 2018, I officially opened my Discord server up to the public in an announcement video where I also asked my subscribers if they wanted to see me make any Warframe content. I had a Discord server well before I made this announcement, but it was private and only had a few of my friends on it. I suppose you could say that this was the official grand opening of my Discord server, which itself has evolved and changed drastically from the time of this announcement. but there's a whole other video I could make discussing the changes and drama that's happened there. Also, if you're looking for a fun and inviting community to play Paladins and other games with, consider checking out my Discord server, which is linked in the description. Anyways, as you could tell, Warframe didn't go anywhere either. So, I kept making more Paladins content, and made 2 extremely popular top 5 videos back to back. My first top 5 tanks video, and my first top 5 supports video, with the tanks one being significantly more popular.
What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'll be counting down my picks for the top 5 most powerful tanks in Paladins. These tanks are incredibly efficient at their job of capturing and holding the objective, and can be absolute beasts on the battlefield. The tanks on this list are decided by 5 different factors: their win rate compared to other tanks, how much health they have, how powerful their shield is, how many crowd control abilities they have, and how powerful those abilities are, and how much self-sustain they can have through healing and damage reduction in their loadout, as these are the most important factors for a frontline to have to effectively tank on the objective. So, without further ado, let's get into the 5th most powerful tank in the realm.
I started making a lot of guides and top 5 videos after this, uploading new videos once every Sunday. I made my first Makoa guide, a positioning guide, a pip guide, and an Nara guide, and a cool video going over map secrets, just to name a few of the videos I made during this period. The quality of my videos was rather consistent, and I tried to make slight improvements in each video. One video in particular was a guide on Koga when he first came out, which had absolutely awful advice looking back, but it did have one new thing which set it apart from the rest of my videos and set another precedent for guides and lists going forward, and that was the special editing of headers for different sections of the video. This was the first time I had ever done such an edit, and it actually looked quite nice for my first time ever pulling that off. I've continued to do this all the way up until today, with my Makoa guide from August 2020.
Behold the dragon's fury!
It's defined the style of editing in most of my scripted videos for years. Even though I don't agree with most of what this guide actually says, it still has a place in my heart because of this reason. For the next few months, I kept cranking out guides and top 5 lists, covering new content and making the occasional gameplay video at the rate of 1 video every week. I made a much better version of the top 5 most difficult champions list, which has almost 100,000 views at the making of this video, and is currently my 2nd most popular video. 2 months later, I made my single most popular video ever, the legendary sequel to my first viral video ever, which was an updated gold farming guide. What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Chicken, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'll be showing you guys a quick and easy method to farm gold in Paladins. Now, I know I've already made a pretty popular video on this topic already, but that video is a year and a half old, and Paladins has changed a lot since then. So I feel that it's time for a bit of an updated version of that video. This one covered all the new ways to quickly get gold that the first video would not have been able to cover, and the tips in that video are actually all still valid in 2020. This video is the most popular video I've ever made, with 163,000 views. Imagine if all those people subscribed, man. This channel would be massive. I also met Darkseeker111 soon after this video was published, and he's provided me with some amazing background tracks which I've used in most of my videos since. He's also made a few other tracks since, including the Leon diss track which I published recently.
Not a toothpick or a hitbox. Every time you try to fly, I deny. Just want you out the sky like a fly. Not even in my line of sight. Now you understand why. I don't even look at you. What I do, I just shoot at you.
Underneath 3,000 hit points knows the deal. Unzipping my pants, then kneel.
Then, a few months later, came April of 2019. This was one of the greatest months of my YouTube career, because it was during this time that I hit 1,000 subscribers. This was the biggest milestone I had ever hit up to this point. My channel grew at a much faster rate than it had previously, accelerated by videos like my top 5 strongest champions in Paladins video, which has over 40,000 views. I decided that I would do a Q&A for my 1,000 subscriber special, which I uploaded on April 24th, 2019. What's Up 600 asks, do you challenge Makoa? Why yes. Yes I do. I also made plans for hosting a tournament in the following month with the moderators on my Discord server. This was a massive project and group effort, and we tried to make it so that anyone could be a part in the tournament. Ideally, we'd have a whole bunch of people sign up, and even if they didn't have a team, that was fine because we'd make a whole bunch of teams and then put them into 2 different brackets based on the collective ranks of the people in those teams. It sounded nice in theory, but in practice, this tournament was a nightmare. We made a separate Discord server for all the participants and tried to get everyone who signed up on that server, group them up into their different teams, and then on the day of the tournament, organize the custom games between those different teams. However, we couldn't reach out to all the participants, and on the day of the tournament, some teams and participants didn't even show up. Some of the moderators who I relied on also notified me last second that they would not be able to attend, so we were understaffed with some of the teams not showing up. However, we still managed to pull off the tournament, and the whole thing was streamed live on my Twitch, since that was where I usually streamed at the time. The archive of that stream is available on my YouTube channel, and if you watch at some parts, you can clearly see just how manic the event really was. Thankfully though, most of the participants enjoyed it, and I still consider it to be a success, though a very difficult one for sure. I continued uploading fun videos for a few months, although I started to deviate from all the guides and lists I'd been making earlier, and going back to more regular gameplay content. Late in July, the legendary Minecraft parody Creeper Aw Man was a hugely popular meme, and I decided to jump on that bandwagon by getting a few friends in Discord to sing the lyrics in the text chat. This video blew up, gaining over 17,000 views before getting copyright claimed. I would play a clip here, but I don't want this video to get copyright claimed either. I also started streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch after popular demand, and those streams garnered way more views than they ever did on Twitch, so I enjoyed the change. I also started focusing a lot on upgrading the quality of my streams to make them as enjoyable to watch as possible. A lot of these changes came later in 2020, such as the border around my camera, better lighting, and cool chat and alert widgets. Later in October, I released a music video, of sorts. Darkseeker provided me with an amazing and unique theme song for Bomb King, which I just had to make a video about. So I published the closest thing I could to a music video at the time for the track, and I've since used the track for my latest intro, outro, and at the beginning of all my streams. It's an amazing song. My uploads also started getting more frequent, since I was taking YouTube much more seriously. I also started changing up my thumbnail style later that October, going from the cookie cutter format I had been using for years to something which caught the eye a bit more. It looked decent, but I also felt that I had a bit less freedom than before, and that I was just going into another cookie cutter format. I dropped the style altogether by the end of the year, when I finally decided to stop using Microsoft Paint to make all my thumbnails. Yes, you heard that right. Up until the beginning of 2020, I used Paint to make my thumbnails. This was for two reasons. First, I didn't want to make an investment into an expensive image processor since my thumbnails at the time were good enough. Second, if I changed, my thumbnails would no longer be consistent. But eventually, I saw that change was necessary and that they just weren't looking as good anymore. Now, we're getting into some more recent history. I did a face reveal for my 3,000 subscriber special early in December, and to my surprise, I wasn't bullied into oblivion for how ugly my face is. At the end of the year, I released a rewind video showing some of my best videos from the past year, which is sort of what I'm doing now, except for the past 4 years. One of the clips I showed in that video was when I danced the Macarena on stream, because somebody donated for me to do that. It's too silly not to show here, so here you go. Yeah, unfortunately, the Macarena is copyrighted, so if I want to include this clip in the video, I also have to take out all the audio, and it's a little bit awkward just watching me dance there without any music. So, to make up for it, here is a clip of Makoa breakdancing from one of my previous Makoa guides.
Are you ready for the rough neck bass?
I also tried hosting a second tournament around this time, which had some similar issues as the tournament in the summer. We actually had even fewer teams show up for this one, although moderating it was a breeze because I made sure we had ample moderators and a much smoother system. However, I wasn't sure if he would have prizes for this tournament until 2 days before the tournament, since the people at Evil Mojo in charge of that were on holiday. There was also one other huge problem that made this tournament a failure in my eyes. That huge problem resulted from a decision I made that I had hoped would make the tournament a lot smoother, but instead just made it a failure. You see, in the summer, when I broadcasted the tournament, I did it live, as the matches were actually happening. This made the stream a little bit sloppy, and also put more pressure on the already strained staff we had for the tournament. So to solve that, I decided that I would save all the match replays, and stream the matches a week later. Foolproof, right? I thought so too. I even went so far as to check and make sure the replays were still working the night before I did the stream. But then, when I actually went live and typed in the codes, none of them worked. They had all expired. I was completely unable to stream any of the games that happened in this tournament. That is why I consider it an absolute failure, and it had also killed my drive to host any other tournaments in the future. I decided to move on and focus on my regular content instead. In 2020, I started cranking out new guides covering the champions who got changed the most in Season 3. I uploaded 4 in-depth guides in a row, which were all very popular and very well received. After that, I uploaded more gameplay videos at a faster rate than ever, eventually reaching the point where I could make daily content. Of course, we all know about the big, ugly virus that hit the world in 2020, which sent most of the world into a pretty lengthy quarantine. I'm no exception to that, and I'm actually still in quarantine as I publish this video. Now, while this did put a halt to other plans I had for this year, it did give me more than ample time to crank out videos faster and at a higher quality than ever. So that's exactly what I did. For the past few months, I've been working to make better edits, improve the quality of my videos and streams, and make the best content I possibly can. April 2020 rolled around and was even better than the previous April, and I hit 4,000 subscribers then. I did another Q&A, and then just a month later, I released my best guide ever on the brand new champion Corvus. This was the single most detailed guide I've ever made, and I'm still very proud of it. As you can see, I put a lot more effort into my thumbnails and my edits. Then, going into the summer, I started my latest and greatest series of Top 5 Strongest Champions list, making a top 5 list for each class and making them all consistently high quality. My top 5 strongest damage champions list from this June has over 81,000 views at the time of this video, making it another incredibly popular video and the fastest growing video I've ever made. Then in July, I made my first ever movie trailer. This was an epic trailer for Sha Lin and the quest for the Golden Pants, which was going to be a stream where I unlocked the hilariously shiny golden skin for Sha Lin that they had just released. While it didn't get nearly as many views as the other videos at the time, it was still an amazingly fun project and paved the way for future golden skin streams as well as the trailer for Torvald and the quest for the Finite Gauntlet, which performed much better.
I am the master of the arcane.
The ashes of war have crumbled what was left of the Magistrate's grand archives. The Magistrate's greatest minds are all but forgotten. Many were lost to the abyssal forces which crept into the halls of power, crippling the leaders of the Magistrate with an insatiable lust for dominance.
The abyss bends to my will.
But one man was determined to reverse this chaos. Torvald, Elder Arcanist of the Magistrate, Master of Eldritch Magic, set off from the infested ruins of the archives with his powerful runic gauntlet and a quest. Purge the abyss from the land, and restore righteousness and prosperity to the great empire he once called home. Then, and only then, could he return to his studies in peace.
I also started making a few meme type videos, such as the better you are at Paladins, the worse this video gets, which did a good job making my audience uncomfortable. I also made this monstrosity, which, yeah, we don't talk about this. I also received a $69.69 donation to get Leon up to level 50, who is my most hated champion. This was an absolutely painful journey, and I'm happy to say that I finished it recently. And of course, we can't forget about the legendary collaboration between me and Daddy Mouse when we made a waifu tier list. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
We have the ultimate waifu tier of the realm right there.
The ultimate waifu tier list, according to Andrew Chicken and Daddy Mouse, the two utmost experts in this field, obviously. I totally know what I'm doing and talking about.
I have a degree in, how to call it, waifu...
Waifuology?
Waifuology, exactly.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. I have a degree in waifuology from the University of University. Which brings us to today, where I make consistent daily content which oftentimes is either a stream or a fun gameplay video with some guides, memes, and lists thrown into the mix. It's fascinating to see how my channel has evolved, from a simple Minecraft YouTuber wannabe to now, where I think I can confidently say I am one of the bigger Paladins YouTubers. Honestly, I'm amazed and humbled that I am where I am today, because looking back at some of my older content, I wouldn't even subscribe to myself. If any of you watching are an original subscriber from back then, I owe a debt of gratitude to you. Also, I'm curious, what did make you subscribe? My content was definitely subpar back then. Anyways, that is the end of this journey throughout the history of my channel. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to see, and a lot that's changed since my humble beginnings. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping me to get to 10,000 subscribers. It's such a crazy milestone, and I'm so happy we've made it. Anyways, time for the usual plug. You guys know the deal by now. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and also join the Discord server linked in the description. Also, huge shout out to the members of this channel who help to support my content and keep me doing what I'm doing. If you want to become a member of this channel today, then just click the join button right next to the subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.